are back. Something really funky happened in my settings here, which threw me off completely. So we are back. I'm hoping that it's working out now. So what happened was, Streamlabs, the software, completely stopped my ability to multi-stream, and for some reason, now it's gonna let me do it. So, I don't really know what happened. Anyway, guys, I do apologize for being late. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. I was really upset, so I'm trying to turn it around and get into a good mood now, because honestly, like, I never mess around with these settings, and for them just to not work, after literally not touching them is quite annoying. So, anyway, guys, welcome to the stream today, and let's get into it. Now, I do have to just pull up my music here on the side, make sure we can get that going as well. And how are you guys? You guys having a good Friday? Let's do it. And by the way, if you guys do enjoy this one, be sure to drop a like, guys. It really does help me out a lot. And let's make some bank today, guys. And let me just go check out the Twitch side of things, make sure. Okay, we're good over on Twitch. Okay, we are good. Dude, like, I'm not even gonna get into it. It's just gonna put me in a bad mood. So regardless, let's get into it today. Now, it's a funky day on the exchange, guys, okay? And the reason it's such a funky day is because, hold on, I gotta get the suit jacket, guys. The reason it's so funky today, guys, is the market is freaking crashing, okay? Everything is going down in price right now. No idea why it's really going down like this. I think it's just like a big pullback after price has gone a little bit crazy these past few weeks. So, I mean, I don't really know what's happening, but everything is crashing really bad. I mean, the Elysian is down like 25 mil on the day. I only know because I have been flipping it. Luckily, successfully, I've been on the right side of each single trade. We can actually probably look at how many I've been doing here. I just deleted the last one, but we already have 2 of them flipped for a profit. You can't even see it, sadly here. Let me see if I can't scroll it, but it's right above this. I have a, why can't you see that? Hold on. I think something's a little bit messed up here. Okay. Anyway, whatever. You know what? So many stream problems today. Let's just get into the flipping, guys. I don't feel like dealing with all this crap. Now, we're going to do the Dragon Claws first right off the bat today. By the way, guys, how are you doing today? Have you been flipping? Have you noticed the markets are just crumbling right beneath us? It's a little bit crazy what's going on right now, so just be very careful when you're making investments. I know a lot of items look really good to invest in right now, but you just have to be very careful. Things are crashing like crazy, and I just finished a video today that relates to how to invest in old school RuneScape. So there's a video on that coming out soon. It's not titled that. You'll see what it's titled. And I've seen a large mistake that a lot of people are making when it comes to investments in old school RuneScape, and that's what the video is going to come out to be. Anyway, we have Chicken Dinner says, good to see you're sorted. You've sorted it, broski. Good to see you, Chicken Dinner. We have STW Benny as well saying, good to see you today. Michael Ingram saying, yo, what's up, man? Good to see you. Let's get them likes going. Hey, Michael, I like your spirit today, man. We also have Furno. He says, snazzy. Good to see you, Furno, man. Jay Hefner saying, happy weekend as always. How's it going? Good to see you, Jay. Thank you for tuning in, man. And happy weekend to you as well. Dude, I'm freaking starving, though. I gotta eat something. And we have Alex saying, yo, what's good, everybody? Good to see you, Alec. And we have Ezio saying, can I get a loan of 20 mil? Ezio, unfortunately, I will not be able to give that to you. STW Benny, just a lot of people saying, hey, let's go for some profit. So, you know what? No complaining. Let's get some money today, guys, and let's get into it. Now, we're going to do the Bandos Tacits next. Dude, I'm all flustered, man. I'm literally all flustered from trying to set up this stream. It was giving me such trouble today. So, I'm glad I got it figured out and it's sorted, but man, it was a pain to figure that out. Like, I was stressing, you know, we were 1 minute past the stream time. I was like, come on, you got to let me go live. And it's really a shame because I didn't change any of the settings. So, I don't know why it decided to go a little bit wonky on me, but regardless, we're here now, we're flipping, and I finished a video for you guys today, so I feel very accomplished because now I have something to upload next week. By the way, guys, we will not be live next week, okay? Next week, we will not be live. The next time we'll be live is next Saturday or next Monday. I'm not sure. So just keep that in mind. Not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday after that. Unfortunately, I have to go on a little bit of a work trip, so I actually cannot stream because obviously I won't have my desktop computer to do so. But regardless, let's make it a good session today, guys, so we can make up for some profits that I'll likely be missing out on this very boring work trip. Now, it's really interesting today because we're already down 563k. I do expect that it's going to be a very, very difficult day as far as flipping goes because so many items are crashing, and now that we're coming on Friday, we're coming up to like the most hyped time to actually trade items. We're having the most volume that is you'll find throughout the week, so it's going to be very interesting trying to navigate some items today. I obviously expect some gains, but it's going to be very interesting trying to find them. And I do think we could get a very good margin on the code I want today. It doesn't seem to be as affected by these crashes as some other items, so we'll have to see what it's looking like. Not an insane margin, but definitely good enough to go ahead and flip a few of these. We're going to go ahead and list, I would say, maybe like 4 of them right off the bat here. We still have a billion GP on hand that I would love to put into some of the ancestral gear as well. Maybe we'll go ahead and do the ancestral road bottom, which is currently plummeting in price as well. We're seeing these trade sub 64 mil, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. Let's go ahead and trade a few of those. Wow, trades are looking really quick right now. We're definitely on one of the more high volume times. So let me go ahead and list 7 of these ancestral road bottoms. Pray that they just don't crash on us completely right off the bat. And we'll turn around and sell these bando chest plates and try to make a quick buck on those. Now, everyone popping in here. Carlos, good to see you. We have Chicken Dinner. He says, saw a few flips lower than usual and watching my D-Harpoon and Scepters coming back down a bit. Hope you can hit those crazy margins with the volatility. Dude, I looked at the Dragon Harpoons. They crashed like crazy. I do expect quite a large rebound on those as investors get back in. I mean, the update's not even out yet, guys, okay? So keep that in mind. So I don't know why they had such an aggressive sell-off. Likely just a little bit too much hype beforehand. We'll see what happens in the future. 608 mil on hand. I do want to go ahead and do the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. I think the Dragon Hunter Crossbow is going to be a great flip for us to do today. Considering things are a little bit more volatile than usual, we might be able to squeeze a good margin on this thing. And it does look like it's going to have a decent margin for us today. A little bit less than I actually expected, but we're going to go ahead and flip 3 of them regardless. Finally, with a 317 mil I have on hand, I think I was going to do the Carol's leather tops, but if we have 317 mil, we might as well do something that's a little bit more expensive. We're going to do the ancestral rope top. We're really hunting good profits today, guys. We will likely try to flip a high margin item later as well, but it's not something I really want to do off the bat today just because we have struggled to actually flip those high margin items here the past couple of streams. And since things are so volatile today, we can already get really solid margins on other items, so I don't really see too much of a purpose in hunting some of those big wig items. Aria says, what do you do for work? I work in IT support, so we got to go down to the data center, which is, you know, a couple hours away, and I got to spend the week there doing dumb stuff. So, regardless, I'm not here to talk about work. I freaking hate work. I don't hate it, but it's, you know, when it comes to stream time, we're talking about streaming, we're talking about flipping, and we're trying to get some juicy profits, okay? So, anyway, guys, how are you doing today? Hopefully, you're having a great Friday. Let me know in the live chat what you guys have been flipping. Have you been making a lot of profit? Have you been losing money? It's been a really funky week, and especially with the crash starting like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and continuing until today, it's been very interesting on the Grand Exchange. A few items have hit like somewhat bottom prices or have bounced, which is a little bit interesting. I mean, they could potentially be good for investments, but I don't see anything right now in the current state that I'd really want to invest in. Besides, you know, the items I've talked about already and the items I make videos on, I think those are solid ones. But those are different because there's actual updates behind those items. You're not investing purely on value. And that's what my video about this weekend that I created for this weekend, but I'm going to push it back until Wednesday. So next Wednesday, guys, we're going to have a really solid upload that talks about investing. And I think you guys are going to like it, to be quite honest. Saints fan in van says, just made 1 mil flipping the Bandos chest plate. Yo, I hope I get a mil on it too. We'll have to see. I don't think we're going to get a mil on it, but we're still going to get a solid profit for the Bandos chest plate. sitting back, letting these flips come through. Super volatile day on the Grand Exchange today, guys. We have to be very careful with some of these things. We'll keep a close eye on those Dragon Claws as well, because I think we're probably getting overcut on those. Bob Uncle says, do you think these scepters will go up? Definitely. I mean, the update that Jagex wants to put into the game is going to block the incoming supply from the scepter bot farms into the game, right? So if Jagex puts a restriction on these bot farms, then there's less supply of the scepters coming into the game over time, and over time, the item's going to increase in price. Now, I don't know if it's going to get as expensive as it was previously, but I think 4 to 5 mil is a pretty safe bet for the scepters. I'm not saying that as a price target, just in my opinion, I do think it's probably going to hit that price. But I did do a whole video on that, so if you want to take a look at my thoughts on it, you can go check out the video, but I'm sure you've seen it if you're already asking about the scepters. Try the Archer's Rings today. They gave me a good profit. We can definitely try that, Carlos. Everything we have right now does look like it's going to give us a solid profit. The real question is, will we be able to flip it? I mean, that is always the question, of course, but considering things are a little bit more volatile than usual today, it will be interesting to see what's going to flip and what's not going to flip. I really do hope these Dragon Claws flip, though, because these are like a cursed item for us. So if we can flip them, then it's going to be a good session for us today, and we're going to have some good luck. Ezio TV says, did you stuck up on it? Did I stuck up on what? Oh, did I stock up on the scepters? No. Guys, any items I make a video on, if I do an investment analysis and release it to the public, I do not invest in the item, because that is actually something considered market manipulation, and that's actually against the rules, and you can get banned for that, right? So, you know, if you don't believe me, trust me, I open-heartedly, you know, ask Jagex to investigate my account. They're not going to find I have a trillion scepters on hand to sell after making videos on them. It's just here's the thing is, it's against the rules to do that. And on top of that as well, it's a conflict of interest, right? Because I'm trying to make videos for you guys to enjoy, trying to teach you guys how to do investment analysis by bringing my own ideas to the table. If you just blindly throw money at an investment idea that I give, then you're probably going to lose money. You should understand why it's a good investment, have confidence before you make the investment, and then, you know, go from there, right? It's the same thing like as like a stock analyst would do, right? They would analyze it, you know, a stock and be like, this is a good stock and here's why I think it's a good stock. And that's basically the same thing I'm doing, except I can't actually own the item, or it's considered market manipulation. We have one Chris saying, I understand why you hide your offers in your streams, but how should I cut a margin when I make an offer on an item? One Chris, this is a really good question. Now, it depends what kind of items you are flipping. If you're flipping items that are considered high volume or are very, very frequently traded on the Grand Exchange, you should only cut your margins by like 1 or 2 GP. But if it's an item like the Ancestral Rope Top or something that's a little, you know, lower volume than a high volume item, then I would consider cutting it by, you know, 5 to 10K. Hopefully that does help you out a little bit. If you're new to flipping, then I highly recommend just sticking to high volume items. I think it's the easiest way to learn and the easiest way to make profit, really, with the lowest risk. Anyway, guys, I hope you are doing good today. Happy Friday. If you're enjoying the stream, definitely drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Helps me get my channel up there with some other great old school RuneScape content creators. We're here flipping on the Grand Exchange on this lovely Friday evening, and it's going to be a very volatile flipping session if I had to guess. I mean, items have just been crashing like crazy recently. I mean, on margin checks alone, we've already lost about 800K, but we're basically out of the deficit off of one item alone. So it's going to be crazy to see how this session shapes up today. There's plenty of good items that I'm thinking of doing, and Justiciar is one of them. Typically, when items get very volatile, I like to do the Justiciar because margins are wider than usual on those items, and they're not that expensive to flip regardless, right? So I am going to try to flip a few of those. The Dragon Hunter crossbows finishing up very, very nice. We'll go ahead and collect those. I'm thinking of maybe doing them again, but they really didn't bring us like the most amazing profit, right? So maybe I'll cycle into something like the Grazi, which, oh my goodness, wow, this thing is crashing super, super hard in price. I'm nervous for the health of this item, just considering the price point. I mean, jeez Louise. It doesn't deserve this price abuse, man, I'm telling you. It has just been a brutal week for some items. I mean, if you're invested into any of these PVM items and you got in too soon, you are definitely going to be hurting profit-wise. Like, I think the Elysian, like I said earlier, is down like over 25 mil today. The Grazi, I mean, has lost, I don't know, 20 mil in the past 3 days, something like that. Maybe not that aggressive, maybe like 4 or 5 days, I'd say. Which is just a big downtrend on items right now. I'm not really sure why so many items are losing their value, but it could just be that less people are playing the game, or there's just less demand all around. But it's just weird to think that, right? Because old school RuneScape just came to Steam, so if anything, I would imagine more players would be brought into the game. Regardless, I'm not sure why. Sometimes these crashes do happen, and you just have to hold through them, right? Could also be that I guess a lot of GP is leaving the game, so maybe there's a little bit of deflation on items as there's less GP in circulation. Jay Hefner says, it almost seems like the RS market is in correlation with the in real life market, since it was a bad week there too. Dude, tell me about it, man. Although the RuneScape crash looks actually a little bit more aggressive than the real stock market like pullback that's going on right now, because there is aggressive downtrends on some of these items, and some of them were already pretty low to begin with. For example, the Grazi was already like pretty cheap to begin with. It was sitting around like 150, 140 mil for a while, which is actually pretty cheap for the Grazi. Now, I do think these items will recover in price over time. It's just like, when is it going to happen? That's really the thing. And that's always the thing with investing, is it's like, yes, something is going to recover in price, but when is it going to recover? That is extremely important when you're deciding to make an investment. Also, like, not holding items too long is very important too, right? If you make an investment and it's not going anywhere, you might want to exit it at some point. Thomas Francis says, more players, more drops, cheaper items. Thomas, that's what you'd think, but I think it's actually the other way around. More players equals more demand for items equals rising prices. That's typically what we've observed, especially when old school RuneScape came to mobile. We saw a lot of items go up in price by a lot, because so many players are coming into the game demanding these items and driving the prices. And you have to think of it like usually players that are higher level can bring items that lower player levels can use, right? So like someone who would go to God Wars could get Dragon Boots, which someone with level 60 defense could use, right? So it's kind of like that chain effect. So until those new players actually get the levels they need, there's kind of this huge spike in demand on some certain things. But that's not a bad observation as well, although I don't typically think that is correct. Boyan Tofu says, well, it is day 1 to 2, so the player base is still fresh. Yeah, definitely. And you have to keep in mind, though, that it might not only be new players, right? It could be older players seeing that old school RuneScape has come to Steam and returning to old school RuneScape. That is definitely a factor as well. And I actually don't think that old school RuneScape coming to Steam is actually correlated with this market crash that we're currently experiencing. And Pi says, grabbed a few high-tier PVM items to hold on to for investment purposes, he says, hopefully the market recovers, LOL. That's what I hope too. I do think these items will recover over time. Again, it's a question of when they will recover and when will they stop going down in price. Now, Pies, a strategy that you could actually use is if it goes down further in price, you could buy more to try to average in at a cheaper price. And then that way, when the item goes back up, you bought some for kind of high, but then you also bought some pretty low. So when the item starts rising again, you can actually sell it back and have a cheaper break even, making you more profitable at a lower price point. Wild Muffin says, howdy. Good to see you, Wild Muffin, man. Thank you for tuning in today. Wild Muffin, man, we had some stream issues earlier today when we were setting up the stream. So luckily we got them up. We are live today, and hopefully everything looks good. By the way, guys, if you are having a great Friday, let me know in the live chat. What are you doing today on this Friday evening? Maybe you're sitting back, you're watching with a beer or something like that, having a nice, relaxing Friday evening. Not for me, though. For me, I'm streaming. We're trying to get these profits out here, and we're going to see how it turns out for us. So be sure to drop a like if you enjoy, and let's make some money. These Dragon Claws aren't really working out too well. We did get all of the Kodai Wands. Markets are looking really, really good right now for flipping, right? Usually when things are very volatile, flipping is good because there's tons of trades going on, as people don't really know where the prices are sitting around. I mean, on this Grazi alone, we're already up 450k, including the margin check. We still have one left to sell as well. We're looking at like an over 200k margin on those, I believe. Arya says Vorkath. Vorkath is a great moneymaker to do as well. Usually I would do like flipping and Vorkath to make like the most profit per hour. I like doing that because it's like it kind of gets you outside of doing just straight bank standing all the time. But it's hard not to bank stand when in 20 minutes you make 1.1 mil without too much effort, right? That's why like I default to bank standing so often, is I'm just so comfortable trading on the Grand Exchange, and it would be a shame to try to learn any other moneymaker considering how effective the Grand Exchange is, right? Now, let's go ahead and sell these Ancestral Row Bottoms back. We are looking pretty solid on our entry for those. I am hoping, again, that they will sell. And we're going to cycle into the Dragon Warhammer with the 284 mil that we have left. Dragon Warhammer is coming back down in price again, even though it was affected or is going to be affected by the equipment rebalancing that I don't know when the Jagex team is going to put in. I mean, I think they actually delayed the date that they wanted to put it into the game. So I'm actually curious when they're going to put that out. I would assume that they're going to talk about it on one of their Q&As sometime soon. Or maybe I missed the announcement. I'm not sure. Did I miss it? Do we know when it's coming out? I don't think we do. I think Jagex said they were going to delay it. And we're going to turn around and sell these Diamond Dragon Balls E back onto the Grand Exchange. Pretty easy margin on this. We should be able to secure that with relative ease. Nothing great on those. I think we're looking at about 7 GP for every single one that we do flip. Bob Uncle says, I've got 200 mil, any good overnight items? Definitely, man. So if you're flipping overnight with 200 mil, here are some item recommendations that I would give you. Battle Staves you can flip overnight. Grimy Renarweed is pretty good overnight. Mahogany Planks are good. Magic Logs are good. Let me think. Amulets of Torture, Necklace of Anguish, you can do those overnight. Those are a little bit more stable most of the time, so they actually are pretty good. And wow, guys, we are making a killing today without too much effort. This is freaking insane. Oh my goodness. We're already up to 1.3 mil, 22 minutes in. We're currently averaging about 4.1 mil an hour. Let's see if we hit that. Plenty of good items left on our list as well to go ahead and flip. But as far as a 200 mil cash stack goes overnight, magic longbows, longbows are good. Those are like more high volume items, right? So what you're going to want to do with that 200 mil is spread it out across all of these items. Brimstone rings, archer's rings, berserker rings. You want to use every single slot on the Grand Exchange to go ahead and flip these items overnight. And don't just flip one item limit of them, right? Try to flip, like, for example, for berserker's rings, where the buy limit is, I think, 8 every 4 hours. You want to go ahead and list like 16 overnight or 20 overnight. You know, you want to, because that limit's going to hit multiple times overnight. So just keep that in mind. 15 minutes, Bando's chestplate. How could I forget, Chicken? Thank you, man. Do appreciate it. And don't feel bad for ever telling me that I need to adjust an item, because I genuinely do not notice it. So I don't know what it is. I just get so caught up in the stream. Everything else is looking solid right now. It would be nice to get at least one Kodai wand off here just to feel a little bit better and like we're on margin here. So let me go ahead and turn this around for just a little bit lower. Not a big adjustment on that. Another like 5k downwards just to see if we can get that off. Besides that, we're just going to be very patient today, guys. I think patience is going to win today, considering how volatile items are. But one thing that we need to be careful, though, is to not hold on to things for too long either, because I know things are downtrending like crazy, and we just want to take advantage of the liquidity. Wild Muffin says that they're delaying it until combat achievements, which is getting pretty close. I think March, right, is when they said they wanted to do combat achievements. I'm not investing in anything for combat achievements. I honestly, you know, it's weird that gear is crashing, because if combat achievements is coming up, right, you think that would at least drive a little bit of demand on some of this PVM stuff. So it's interesting to see all this stuff crash. I mean, I'm personally not invested in anything for the combat achievements update. I don't know if I'll make a video on my thoughts for investing in that because I don't really see a lot of good opportunities. I could be missing something. Like, definitely let me know if you guys have an idea, or if you guys, maybe you know an item you're investing in. Oh my, I'm gonna sneeze, hold on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let me know your thoughts as far as investing in the combat achievements update goes, because personally for me, I don't see how combat achievements are really going to drive a demand too much. That's why, like, I don't know. I personally don't feel like I can make a good investment. I don't feel too confident about the update. I'm not saying there's no opportunity. There might be opportunity. I just don't see it. So let me know if you guys have ideas, if you want to share them, or if you just have an idea in mind that you can say like, oh, I have an idea for the update. I think my item's going to succeed. You don't have to necessarily give away the item. Regardless, though, we do have 486 mil after finishing up on those ancestral robe tops. 538k in profit on those rope tops, and we're not even done flipping the limit. I'm gonna go ahead and try to flip another 2 of these just because the margin is pretty solid on those, and luckily we are selling the Kodai wands and the ancestral robe bottoms as well, so good signs on both of those. And the only things that are really hurting are these bandos pieces, so would be nice to get a couple of those going. And I think we're just going to take our profit on the Grazi as well, maybe go into the primordial boots. I'm hoping we can get a good margin on these. They are crashing as well. It would be interesting to do a primordial boot investment. They are getting really cheap, and I will keep my eye on them. But one thing I learned about investing is you really have to have some update hype behind your investments, or else they might not go your way, and they might take way too long. Lewinteg man, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by today. He says, so how often do you make sets as flips? I feel like I never see you do that. Yeah, I never do it. Honestly, like, it was something I used to do when I had a smaller cash stack, but now that I'm working with max cash, I feel like, you know, you can still make profit that way. Don't get me wrong. It's just a lot of effort, and honestly, I just never do it anymore because I feel like I can make a solid GP profit per hour with my stack and not have to do that, right? Just because it's a lot of effort. I mean, that's really the only reason. I think it's a good moneymaker regardless. I just think it's a lot of effort to make sets and kind of find out where the price is trading for those sets. And like your profit on the sets. It's not hard, it's just a lot of work. Chicken Dinner says, don't see much opportunity after seeing the live stream, as most people would probably manage with average gear, and then the top tier players are too difficult for casual players. Those high skill players already have the gear. That's true as well. I wonder if the crash is because people were anticipating that they need these larger gear requirements, and now that that's not the case, there's just a lot of PVM selling. I mean, you know, again, just a speculation. No one really knows when things are crashing, unless it's something super obvious, but it's very hard to predict why an item is crashing, or you could speculate on it, but it's really kind of an unknown thing. Lewinteg says, I've been here since the beginning, said, yo. Good to see you, Lewinteg, man. But even though you were here since the beginning, okay, I missed your comment, okay? Or maybe I addressed it and I just forgot about you, okay? Feels bad, man. Let's go ahead and sell these Dragon Warhammers back, guys. Or maybe, Lewinteg, you're lying to me, buddy. Maybe you're lying. Maybe you haven't been here. Can anyone vouch for him in the chat? Seems pretty suspect if you ask me. Regardless, Boy and Tofu says, once you earn 1 million an hour, you become lazy. Yeah, that's right, dude. And it's like, I'll just take the profits that come to me easy, honestly, because, hey, I'm not going to complain about easy profits, right? Alex says, I did some good flipping last week and went from 20 mil up to 54 mil. Holy cow. Good job, Alec, man. That's insane. Congrats to you. Enjoy the capital. And what are you going to keep doing? Are you going to keep flipping? You'll probably get to that 100 mil soon if you are. Anyway, we do have 448 mil on hand. Let's try the Spectral Spirit Shield. The only reason I'm going to do the Spectral is because I do think that the Arcane Spirit Shield is not something worth margin checking, and I think the Spectral Shield's probably a little bit less volatile. Wait, this could be a massive margin. Hold on. Okay, it's not that big. It's actually like barely even worth flipping. We'll flip 2 of them and try to move out of that. The world may never know. Exactly, man. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream today, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. And yeah, let's keep going, guys. Frank says, whoa, NH Spark giving us a follow over on Twitch, man. Thank you so much. We do appreciate that. And welcome to the flipping team, my man. Hopefully we can answer any questions you might have about flipping or money making in old school RuneScape. These live streams, oh gosh, oh god, that's not something you want to see when you're flipping expensive items, okay? Regardless, we'll see if we can sell these back for a little bit of a profit. Now, anyway, if you guys have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping, please let me know. These live streams are to answer your guys' questions about flipping and just kind of get an open forum, okay? Just like the Roman times, all right? An open forum about what to flip, how to flip, and everything under the sun in regards to flipping. Thank you, XX, for the follow as well over on Twitch, man. Do appreciate it. Welcome to the flipping team, and let's make some profits, man. Alex says, I'm gonna keep flipping. I got 117 mil in gear in my bank for the grind and gonna flip to make more capital. Amazing, man. Good luck on your flipping journey. I'm actually curious if I convinced you or showed you how to flip in old school RuneScape. Let me know in the live chat right now. I'm curious who, like, I've kind of onboarded into flipping. Maybe, you know, you weren't completely new to flipping, but maybe I've just convinced you to do it a lot more. Let me know. I want to see my sphere of influence, you know what I mean? Anyway, we do have 659 mil on hand. Let's go ahead and do the Dragon Hunter Lance. The Dragon Hunter Lance is usually a pretty good flip, especially when things get volatile. Although things were getting volatile and we weren't able to get a good margin on the Dragon Hunter crossbow. So, wait. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is mad risky, but if this hits, guys, this is going to be an insane profit. It's going to be insane if that goes through. Regardless, though, we did get those Spectral Spirit Shields off, so I think the play on the Spectrals is to go back in for about 300k less than where we just flipped it, and we'll see if we can catch maybe a little bit more of a crash here and try to profit from that crash. We can kind of support it with a few buy offers here and see if it works out for us. Oh my, we're on margin for the Lance. Woo! It's going to be a big one, let me tell you. We did get those Bandos Tacits off as well. I don't think we made a lot of money on those. Yeah, 467 GP on the Tacits. Really good margin on those, by the way. No, we actually did have a solid margin, but they weren't selling off, so we cycled back in for a little bit lower, and it is what it is. Let's go ahead and try to get 3 more Kodais bought and sold here. We do have the Ancestral Row Bottoms still selling, although they are slowing down a bit. Looks like the Prims are not really working out for us as well, so we're going to cycle back into those. We're going to knock up the margin on that by about like 5k or so and try to get a few of those bought here. Anyway. Oh, wow. Holy moly. So many people popping in here. Anyway. Jay Hefner says, are you planning on swing trading like flips next week or more focus on work? I'm definitely not going to be, I'm not going to have my desktop, right? So everything next week for flipping is going to be basically mobile, and I really won't be flipping that much. I think my goal for next week is overnights, and then I'll try to do maybe some day flips. I'm not really sure. I might even record some on mobile. Who knows? If you guys would be interested in like me actually recording and making a video on mobile, let me know. I think it might come out bad, so I don't know if I should really do it. Is it really worth the effort is like what I'm trying to determine. So if you guys think that would be interesting, let me know. But anyway. Now, I do really want to do the Arcane Spirit Shield. I think these things are crashing pretty hard, and I would like to see if we could flip maybe 1 or 2. We'll leave. I'm not going to actually margin check one. I'll actually try to just guess the price using the Runelight price here. I think we're going to be fine with that, though. Lewinteg says, you definitely got me into flipping big time. I recommended you whenever I can to people wanting to learn or get better at flipping. Thank you, Lewinteg, man. Frank says, good videoscape-nomics. Oh, thank you, Frank. Welcome to the live stream. He says, any suggestions on what item can be flipped in low levels in free-to-play? Yeah, sure. So there's some items you can flip in free-to-play that are relatively cheap. By the way, if you're in free-to-play, your focus should be on high-volume items. Those are really the only items that are going to make you a good profit per hour in free-to-play. So if you're thinking of free-to-play flips, think of things like death runes or law runes. Nature runes are really great. Gold ore, gold bars. What are some other ones? Steel bars, grapes, wines as Amarok are really good. Clay is really good. Coal ore, iron ore. That should be enough to get you started. No luck selling these ancestral robe tops yet either, so we should probably knock those down a little bit further. Actually kind of concerned on those considering they didn't sell at that price point. Anyway. We're actually going to cycle out of the Arcane Spirit Shield as well. We do have 562 mil on hand. I wonder if the Scythe crashed kind of hard, because if the Scythe did crash a little bit, we might be able to actually flip a Scythe with this amount of GP. I doubt it crashed that hard, though. Yeah. It's not down there yet. Although it's showing signs of maybe going sub 600 mil. We'll have to see. Counterparts 12 coming in with the follow over on Twitch. Counterparts, man, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in today. If you are enjoying the live stream, well, you already gave us a follow, so thank you for that. And let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack. We can definitely help you out. I think it would be some nice content. Don't overwork yourself, though. I'll try to do, like... It's above med price. Oh, wow. Shocking. Maybe not then. Regardless, though. Yeah, I think it wouldn't be too hard to record a video. It's just like, I'm trying to think of the formatting for it. You know what I mean? 562 mil. Let's do the Sang Staff. A little bit. Wow. The Sang Staff is cheap. That is not something I expected. No, I mean, I did expect it to be low in price. I did not expect it to be that low in price. We'll put it that way. We'll go ahead and flip 4 of them just in case we maybe catch it at a bad time. It doesn't actually look like we're getting luck on these primordial boots as well, so I'm going to go back and list these. This is probably going to sell instantly. No, it's not going to sell instantly, but it should sell pretty quick. Also, let's move around the spectral shields. Maybe we'll do something like the Justiciar pieces. Although we do have 724 mil. Now we can get in on the Scythe, but maybe we'll just wait a little bit longer on that. Looks like the Justiciar sets are holding a good margin for us today. Now, these do take a little bit longer, these Justiciar sets. They're not a flip that I would consider quick by any means, but they do have a decent margin most of the time. And the nice thing I like about the Justiciar armor sets is they're one of these like low volume items that people with smaller cash stacks can get into, right? It only runs you about 40 mil to trade a Justiciar armor set, which, yes, that's not a little amount by any means, but at the same time, if you're flipping high like margin items, like high margin items means you're at like the highest tier of flipping, right? So if someone's trying to learn how to do high margin items, I always recommend they do the Justiciar, as I find it's a great entry level item to actually like flipping that kind of category of items, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm just kind of rambling on a little bit here about nothing. Anyway, these ancestral row bottoms not really selling off here. Let's make them a little bit lower. Should be good on those there. Let's also use this open slot that we have to sell these lances back. I want to see if we can get these off, because if we can get them off at this current margin, that's going to be some legit bank. Like, that's going to boost our profit per hour by, like, 2 mil. Chicken Dinner says, how about a day at work video? Screen record your mobile stuff and overlay it with the times you log in so we can see your frequency and typical methodology when you only have short breaks to be active in. Yeah, the problem is, the problem with, like, the flipping, like, during work video is I wouldn't flip during work. That's the thing. I would set flips that before I would actually log on or before I would start my work, and then I would kind of, like, wait the 8 hours or 9 hours or however long I work, and then I would check back on them. So, I mean, it would... There's 2 ways that I could attack the mobile video, right? And here's what I'm thinking. It's either... 1, I set flips that I do throughout the entire week. So I literally set my prices once, or maybe, and I'll adjust them if they don't work, but I literally set the prices once. I set huge quantities in there, let these items buy out all week, and then maybe like a day or two before I come home, I try to sell them back on the Grand Exchange. That's one way we could do it. Or I could just do overnights and day flips all the time and just make a bunch of clips that way. I haven't decided what I want to do yet because, again, like, I might have too much content if I do it doing overnights and day flips, if you know what I mean. Forestwonk popping in. He says, hey, man, what is up? Good to see you, Forest, man. Thank you for tuning in today. Margins are looking really great right now, guys. Lots of profit to be made today, and we do have 714 mil on hand, so we'll see what we can do with that. I'm trying to think. I kind of want to do some of the justiciar pieces, but I feel like that's probably not a good idea, considering how they've been kind of looking. So, anyway. Just considering how volatile things are and how much downward force has been on those justiciar pieces, I want to be a little bit careful about it. And wow, we are actually flipping this lance, guys. Holy moly. See if we can squeeze another 2 in there. We did get the Kodai once as well. We'll turn around and sell those. I think these were actually a little bit lower. XX says, I don't know if this is an annoying question or not, but what plugin are you using for your total profit calculated? It's not an annoying question at all, and I think Chicken Dinner answered the question, but if there's anyone else who doesn't know what the plugin is, it is a plugin called Flipping Utilities. It is my favorite plugin in old school RuneScape to use because it is so useful for flipping. I mean, it just tracks your margins. Anything flipping related, you need this plugin, I'll tell you that. It even tracks your all-time too, which is pretty cool. Slowly waiting for some flips to come through. No luck on the Sanguesti stabs yet. Let's actually adjust those a little bit here. Now, I do expect the Sanguestis to be, take a little bit longer than some of these other items we have, but, I was hoping we'd have one by now. And we did get 2 more of the lances here. Very, very nice. We're going to cut back on the last offer we have for the lances here so I can list the rest of them in one slot. Let that do its thing. 858 mil on hand. I kind of want to flip the scythe, but I don't know where it's trading around, so I'm a little bit nervous to do it. It's like, what else do we flip? That's the problem. I just need a little bit more money to do the twisted bow, so, well, that might be enough. Nope, we need a little bit more still. If we can get that enough money for the twisted bow, that's what I would prefer to cycle into next, even though it is very volatile. I did do a couple of Elysians today and yesterday. I think I flipped 2 of them for like a total of 9 mil or something. I think we showed that earlier in the stream. Maybe it wasn't 9 mil, but it was a lot of money. That thing's been coming down in price. I would not want to hold an Elysian right now, personally, just because of how unpredictable this market looks right now. Honestly, I wouldn't want to hold any PVM items right now. I mean, I think the play is to sit on the sidelines until we see some sort of resistance or recovery on some of this stuff. And oh my goodness, this Lance is just printing dollars for us right now, guys. Like, the Lance is having some insane margins here. Wow, incredible performance on those. Lewinteg says, on average, how long do Ellie's usually take to flip? Longer than Twisted Bow and Sides. Usually like 30 minutes for a solid margin on the Elysian is what I aim for. You can flip it faster for, and it could be a little bit quicker, like 15 minutes bought and sold, but usually a buy and sell takes like an hour completely. If you want to get a decent margin on the Elysian, like I'm talking like 1.5 mil plus. Anyway, that's going to be enough for the Twisted Bow. I think this is going to get a little bit crazy, guys. We'll try and get this Twisted Bow bought and sold here. Don't know how it's going to work out. Definitely going to be one of the spookier items that we do today. That is for sure. Well, it actually looks like it's actually a little bit stable. I have no idea where that twisted bow is trading around. That's the problem. I think we're too low where we are right now. Okay, did an instant buy, which is good. That should be around where the margin is. And we did get those Kodai ones off. They only made us 382k in total, which is actually pretty bad. But currently, we're up 4.3 mil on the session. Super solid session right now, guys. Profits are really working out for us. Very happy about it. Let's try to make some more money here, extend that lead a little bit further. I think we're going to do that with the eternal boots, actually. Now, if the Pegasians are crashing, then the Pegasians are probably crashing. Or sorry, if the Primordials are crashing, the Pegasians are probably crashing as well, which probably means something as funky is going on with the eternal boots. And yeah, then margin's not going to be very good on those, unfortunately. Now, that being said, we can do some other items here. I'm thinking some Justiciar pieces in both of the slots that we do have. Yeah, markets are crazy right now. I mean, items are jumping up and down in price like nuts. There's just a lot of volatility right now, which, of course, if you're someone who likes to actively flip a lot, volatility is very good because it makes the margins a lot larger, as there's lots of trades going on and people don't really know where the price should sit. Let's do the Justiciar leg guards as well, although we're not going to have as much money on the leg guards this time, like compared to the face guards here. Wow, very bad margin on those. We'll cycle back in for the dragon darts here, actually, which actually slowly look like they're coming back up in price, believe it or not. A little bit of a margin on those, about 8 GP. We're going to take advantage of it. And hopefully, fingers crossed for that twisted bow, man. Jay Hefner says, juicy session today, 10 mil profit. Probably won't get to the 10 mil. Unfortunately, I'm going to cap it off at the hour here today. So I got to get some packing done and stuff. Unfortunately, I wish we could keep going, but unfortunately I can't. World of RS says, hey Sierra, how are you? Good to see you, World of RS, man. Thank you for stopping by today, dude. And how's your day going, man? I saw you flipping those dragon pickaxes. I was doing the same thing. Lewintek says, gotcha, might give it a try soon. Definitely give it a try, man. It's a very profitable item, but it is a little bit of a spooky item. I'll tell you that. The blowpipe nerf is screwing up the ranging market. Absolutely, but they said they weren't going to go ahead with the nerfs yet, right? So they're delaying that a little bit. Maybe some preemptive funkiness going on beforehand. Just won a Discord giveaway for 750k. There you go, Benny. There you go, man. And didn't you get hacked recently, Benny, as well? So that's going to help you out, man. Anyway, the Justiciar armor set's kind of stale. We could leave them. I mean, honestly, like 7 minutes for a Justiciar armor set is not that ridiculous, but I'm going to keep my items moving, okay? Yeah, I did good on those pickaxes, you know, just trying to hold the, you know, 2 items. Okay. Of course, of course. Boy Tofu says, hold 500 blowpipes and pray for them to hit 4 mil. Oh, God. Anytime you invest in an item and you're praying for it to go up, you might want to reevaluate the situation a little bit, okay? You really want to go into investments with good due diligence beforehand, right? Because if you invest into an item and you have to bag hold it for an extended period of time, you're not going to have access to that capital and that GP. And I actually have a video on this coming out very, very soon. Wednesday of next week, we have a video coming out on investing in old school RuneScape and the wrong way to do it and the right way to do it. I think you guys are really going to like that one, and I hope you do, because I put in a ton of effort getting that done today. Literally, it took me like 3.5 hours to get that thing, because you'll see what I mean. There's so many edits that go into that video. It took me freaking forever to get it done. Why don't you block the number section of your history? El Jacko, I can't do it because I just go back and forth in my history so much that, yes, I could switch scenes every time I go to my history, but I do it so often, and if I was to cover prices in my history tab here, then it would like cover all of these items as well. It just doesn't look that good. Mies says, dropping in again to give the stream a quick like. Heading to bed right now. Have a good stream. Thank you, Mies, man. Do appreciate it. By the way, guys, if you are new to flipping or you want to learn more about flipping or join a community, please join us on Discord. We have a group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape that is now over 2,000 members. Honestly, we have a lot of people who join there and learn a ton of tips about flipping. I mean, people in the live chat can vouch for how great that group is. We're basically just a really friendly community who connects with each other on flipping, and we just kind of share flipping tips, tricks, and strategies. And we have Slurpee McGee giving us the subscription over on Twitch. Thank you so much, man. Seriously, whew. Did not expect that on this pumpin' Friday evening. We do have 114 mil on hand. We got to do something with that. But first, Slurpee has something to say. He says, first time tuning into a stream, but wanted to say thank you. Sold my bank and started with 70 mil on Sunday. Just hit 220 mil after flipping for the week. Thanks partly to your videos. Yo, can we give Slurpee some hype in the chat, man? That's absolutely incredible. It really seems like you've embraced the whole thing with flipping and trying to make money from the Grand Exchange. And I mean, 70 mil to 220 mil. That's incredible, man. Amazing job on that. And what are you going to do with the GP? You're going to keep flipping? You're going to try to get to that 1 bill stack? Let me know what the next goal is from flipping with that. Super solid. El Jacko says, just start blocking between S from just issue your armor sets till 10 of the 1099. Yeah, we could. I mean, we could. I'll try it out, man. I'll actually try it out. We'll take an extra look at that. One Chris giving us a follow on Twitch as well. Thank you, One Chris, man. Welcome to the flipping team, and hopefully you're enjoying the live stream so far, man. Let's see. We have 197 million GP. Oh, we haven't done the Zenith jewelry yet. How could I forget? I would love to have a great day flipping some of this Zenith stuff. That would be awesome if we could just find some good margins on it. Oh yeah, it's going to give us some good margins as well today. Not the best I've ever seen, but definitely some solid action on those. Not as good of a margin on the Necklace of Anguish, actually. I was expecting a lot better considering the margin on the Amulet of Torture. So let's go ahead and get 7 of those Necklaces of Anguish listed, and let's let them do their thing. Whew. Anyway, guys, how are you doing today? You having a good Friday? Let me know. What are you going to do this weekend? For me, I'm literally traveling, and I don't want to travel because of the virus, of course, but sometimes you got to do it. So anyway, we'll be traveling this weekend and all next week. So anyway, that's my life. I'm not excited for it because I do it every year for work, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys are doing something a little bit more exciting. Hopefully, maybe it's a full weekend at the exchange. Maybe you've got a weekend of flipping ahead of you. No luck on the Twisted Bow yet. We'll knock that up a little bit here. You touring the US, teaching people to flip in person. I wish, man. That would be crazy. Imagine Scapenomics goes on tour to teach flipping. What a time we would live in if that was the case. Woo-wee. Twisted Bow, we're going to relist this thing. Again, going in a little bit aggressive on it here. I hope it doesn't instant buy. It didn't instant buy, which is great. We'll see if this does buy at this price point. El Jacko says, I'm playing RuneScape. Pretty exciting. It's like me every weekend, man. So what do you have planned? You know, I'm going to play some RuneScape and... well, probably more RuneScape. I mean, oh gosh, that Twisted Bow did buy a little bit quickly, not gonna lie. I'm actually just gonna turn around and try to sell this for a quick profit here. Just a very, very small profit, because the reason, if something instant buys like that, you want to get out of the flip as quickly as possible and then relist at a lower price. Now, the reason I want to get it off quickly is because I'm afraid of a crash, especially with the current market conditions. With so many other items losing a ton of value and the Twisted Bow being included in that, I'm a little bit nervous about holding on to this for too long. Slowly waiting for some of these items to come through. I mean, we've waited a little bit long on these Sanguesties. A little bit sad. Just considering we paid such a nice margin check on those, it would be a little bit unfortunate if we didn't get to flip any of them. We'll give it a little bit of a bump up in price one more time. Why not the Scythe? We could do the Scythe. I kind of like flipping the Twisted Bow a little bit more. It feels a little bit more consistent for me, a little bit easier to make profit off of, and flips a little bit quicker in my experience. But the Scythe is another great option as well. I'm just a little bit more comfortable with the Twisted Bow. And not with my tie, I'll tell you that. Also, I think we rinsed that Lance too. I don't think we're going to get any more on those. 259 mil. Oh, we can do the imputed hearts. We haven't done those yet. Also another great option for us to try. Very, very good margin on those imbued hearts. Let's give it a shot here. And we'll get 7 of those listed and ready to do their thing. Hopefully they do buy. Fingers crossed on those, man. I discovered that giving a break on certain items will help, El Jacko says, and coming back to it later in like 2 weeks. Dude, 100% agree with that, man. Sometimes like margins on stuff are just not good, and it's kind of like cyclical, and you'll get a good margin on it eventually again. My tip is just to not forget about the item, because I've done that a lot as well. We have forestwonk saying, I dumped my scythes today and tried flipping for some profit back. People were flipping scythes for 200k, so rip that plan. There's nothing worse than that, dude. Like, I never understood that. Like, if the scythe has a bad margin, like, why flip it, you know? Like, there's so much, you're putting so much risk into an item for, like, a 200 to 300k profit. Like, flip it when it at least has 800k plus. I mean, come on, man. Lointake says, I feel like I rarely see you touch Twisted Buckler or Odium. You know, I never really found good margins on Odium, and the Twisted Buckler is good. It just takes a little bit longer. It's not really my preference to go and flip things that take a while on stream, unless they're, you know, really expensive and, you know, we're going to make a lot of profit on them, or lose a lot of profit, right? I mean, hey, content is content, right? But, you know, I don't like to touch things that are a little bit cheaper and that take a long time to flip, although I will do them off stream fairly often. Joe says, I'm holding dragon harpoons. Hold the line, boys. I mean, I honestly think the dragon harpoons are going to come right back up in price. And the reason I think that is because, first of all, the update isn't even out yet. So the demand for the harpoons is not even there yet. The buy limit on the harpoons is very low. The volume on the dragon harpoons is very low. And any item that has a very low volume but high demand, well, you do the math. Twisted Bow did sell for a very, very slight profit. Luckily, it did sell for a profit, though, which means we can cycle back in at a lot cheaper. And since things are a little bit more volatile, I do think we're actually going to have success with this new listing here. Hopefully. I mean, I'd like to flip one. Fabled Melon says, it's a whale dumping them. You can see the volume spike yesterday. I haven't actually looked at the volume on the Dragon Harpoon. Actually, I was late to the trend on the Dragon Harpoon. Like, I didn't even know it was really happening until people mentioned it, right? And wow, we got another Twisted Bow. So, I mean, I was late to the party on that one, but I don't have any Dragon Harpoons, so I'm not really affected by it. But if it is someone who has a mass supply just dumping it, it's going to come right back up because people just buy back in, price settles back. It's not always the case, but in this case, I really think that's going to happen because most of the demand for the Dragon Hunter, or not the Dragon Hunter Lance, the Dragon Harpoon is not even there yet. The update's not even out yet. I mean, you have to keep in mind that some people are so disconnected from the Grand Exchange that they just, you know, when they get to the Grand Exchange to buy an item, like, they just buy and sell at their current prices. Like, they're not worried about, you know, how much an item has gone up or down. They're just like, hey, I need, you know, X piece of gear, let me buy it. Anyway. Dank the Dude giving us a follow over on Twitch. Thank you, man. Do appreciate it. Welcome back to the, well, or maybe it's your first time. It's probably your first time watching, considering you're dropping a follow. So, welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in today. Anyway. The volume is usually 1 to 1.5k. It went to 3.3k yesterday. Yeah, that's some major dump activity. Caught some as cheap as 1.4 mil. Melon, man, I didn't know they went that low. Dang it, I missed it. No, but good for you, man. I mean, hopefully you double down on your investment. I really think it's a great opportunity. Probably one of the best we've seen in about a year, potentially. So very nice. Just like the way that the Dragon Harpoon, like, has good long-term outlook. It's not super expensive. You know, the buy limit's very small. The volume's low. All the signs are there, man. El Jacko says, I watch you tell me what I currently shouldn't be flipping currently. Oh, I'm very confused. Okay, anyway. Bob Uncle says, what items are good to flip with 200 mil? If you're flipping with 200 mil, like, you can basically flip the same items I recommended overnight. Like green dragon leather, black dragon leather are good for 200 mil stack. Battle stabs, let's see. Carol's leather tops, Aram's robe tops, Aram robe skirt, Carol's leather skirt. Amulet of Fury, Amulet of Torture is good. Brimstone ring, Berserker ring, Archer's ring. That should be a good list to start you out. Moon or bust, baby. Hey, I guess that's the RuneScape mentality, man. I mean, it's just virtual currency, right? So you can kind of YOLO a little bit more without feeling too guilty about it. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to be wrapping it up here today. Unfortunately, I would go longer, but I have to do some packing and get some stuff out of the way before I leave for my trip tomorrow. So I want to make sure I get that done and get that squared away. Although I do have a video coming out next week for you guys, so don't you worry about that. And let me sell these anguishes back and stuff. We actually didn't end up getting the Sanguesti staff sold, or actually we didn't buy any, which kind of sucks. But we did get a twisted bow off, which was like, I think my main focus was to get one of those twisted bows through, which we did. Unfortunately, we only made 100k on the first one, and the second one was like, I don't know, not that crazy, like 700k maybe. 720k I think exactly. So anyway, sick profit this hour. Good stuff, man. Melon, it was amazing today. I think things are really volatile today, so we had a really solid session. But thank you for stopping by, Melon. I honestly really appreciate it, dude. Sebastian says, hey, learning to flip with you is the best, dude. I love you. Okay, Sebastian, man, thank you so much. And I'm glad I helped you out, man. Honestly, if you have any questions about what to flip, be sure to ask me on Discord. You can ask me in the live chat, whatever you want. But guys, I have to get going here. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Really does mean a lot to me. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome weekend. Hopefully you have something fun planned. Drop a like if you enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later, guys.